You got this, and you got that, and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know that I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Only Friends podcast. You can see that I am in my rightful place as the host today because we got Conrad out there on the beat. He's doing the Lord's work, you know. He's out in the streets.
Wait, you should have put all his trash in the shop.
Jesus Christ, it's grown.
There's a whole pile of like.
He's moved some of the drinks over.
I just don't understand. Like when you're done with something, throw it in the fucking trash.
I've
What
gone
are we
over
doing
there
here?
I've tried to
Are
throw
we
away all this stuff,
animals?
and all he says is, "Oh, Hugo's coming." I'm like, okay.
No, he's not. Hugo is not coming. Oh my God, I wish you guys could see his room. It's like he won't let the cleaners clean it.
He made a sign
it hasn't
with
been
paper.
cleaned by them?
No, it's like so disgusting.
I mean,
He
you're
won't
not
let them in
the
there.
fucking
Oh,
cleanest
no.
person on this earth either,
buddy.
He's the cleanest
buddy.
one in the house.
I'm messy.
He's the cleanest one
Messy.
in the house, I think.
Buddy.
There's a
Maybe
huge
Corey.
difference between messy and dirty. That's
Conrad
dirt.
made a sign with like a printer paper and just writes with a marker, "No access, thank you."
No access.
Please don't clean. Like,
Yeah, you
don't
wa-
come in here.
Oh,
You
God.
walk in there, it looks like a dryer just vomited out like 20 loads of clothes. His bed has like
Mount
no bedding.
Vesuvius.
His bed has
I
like
have
no
that,
bedding
too.
on it whatsoever. Like no
that's
sheets,
weird.
no blanket. Like he just sleeps on a
That's
bare
weird.
mattress.
I like how we're continuing the if you're not on the podcast, you know, then we just trash you.
Yeah.
But he's actually out on assignment for us. He still gets it.
We're not trashing him. He's trashing himself.
Hey, that's true.
He
It's
is
so
the ultimate
crazy.
trash panda. It's
Buffalo's gonna show everyone. Buffalo, turn the camera so they can see.
He's
No,
doing
just
it.
turn the camera.
Nah, no,
why do you do?
He's gonna put
He just
everything.
does it the hard.
No,
He
make
does
it
the hard way.
camera.
All you literally have to do is just turn the camera.
No, but he
like-
wants to get all of it. I respect this. I respect this intensity.
Yeah, there is both sides.
It's almost as
on
if
both
he.
sides.
It's almost as if he
Right.
doesn't understand that switching shots
Yeah,
is more
right,
important
right,
than putting
exactly.
garbage in
Yeah.
Conrad's shot.
Right.
No,
now it's
I
just
respect this art.
perpetually
He's
stuck
building a
on
No,
castle.
he's
Brandon
cooking.
and I.
He's cooking. Let him
He's
cook.
cooking.
He's cooking.
Yeah,
He is cooking.
He's building a castle.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, this is a
Right.
lot when you put it all together, huh?
Yeah.
Those Chipotle chips have been there since the academy.
And then you started eating them
still good.
yesterday.
They're
No.
fine. They're
Good.
chips.
They are fine.
They're chips. Chips
I
go
don't
stale.
know.
Stale, not bad.
Yeah.
Right. But who wants to
Ready?
eat a stale
I don't
chip?
like
Ready? The big reveal and Conrad Simpson, everybody.
Christ almighty.
What is it? Oh, pick me up. That's
Look
what
how
the
many
coffee's-
cups of coffee.
There's a Celsius in there.
Did you just use the same cup?
I mean, this is legitimately
Red
like
Bull?
this is legitimately like 9 podcasts where he just refuses to throw away his.
No,
waste.
that was yesterday.
That was all yesterday.
The man is heavily
He's off,
caffeinated.
yeah, he's off
That was a
1
tough
hour
one.
of sleep saying he doesn't know how we can do it.
He's
And
like-
how do we sleep so much?
He's like, why do you guys need so much sleep? He gets like, he's like, I only need 4 hours. I'm like, no, you don't. Like
He's on
that's no
10,000s of-
human needs
Yeah.
only 4 hours.
He's on 10,000
Wow,
milligrams.
Melissa, you're shot
caffeine.
today.
Ah,
No, you look
why
good.
am I so close?
No, that looks good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's because they moved it down for Jesse's
me.
size.
Yeah, you finally don't look small. We have you framed for Jesse Sylvia, and it looks correct.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. I like
Shout out
it.
to Jesse.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse. You're not here. You're gonna get shit on as well.
He's an honorary guest once a week.
He came in, and I thought the shot was previously set for you, and it was like mid chin for him, and I'm like, come on, man.
Was it
There's no way.
Was it because Hunt was in before him?
No, I think it's just because. Oh my God, I didn't bring Pip. She was eating. That's
Oh,
why.
I thought you left her in the car again.
No.
Oh my god.
It wasn't.
The way you
It's like
said
110
that, yeah.
degrees outside.
Oh, I wasn't saying it like I was scared. I was saying it like I was heartbroken. Like she's not at work today.
She has
But
a
it's
day
actually
off.
for the best because I have to go straight to the Bellagio, so I would have to send her back with Muscle Mommy.
Okay.
Is
We're
it? She's a little
buddies.
gassy.
She's so farty. Like she was laying. She thinks she's small still, so she
Oh,
like
yeah.
lays like on me, and
Yeah.
I'm like I can't breathe because she's getting heavy, and then she's like farting. Like she does like loud farts, and she's like. And I'm like, okay, can you like go shit? So I like picked her up to go shit, and then she just like lets out like 8 farts in a row. Like I squeezed them out of her, and she just like wouldn't shit. So then she just like started chewing on something and farting, and I was like, okay, like
You two are
it's
real
so loud.
soulmates.
Like I've never heard a dog fart that loud.
Yeah, she's not shy.
You got some big cheeks.
I liked it. I like that you think that she's too big for these things, and that as if it's just like a casual thing. Oh yeah, we were just hanging out, and she was laying on me. She's like way too big. I sleep like that for 8 hours a night
She's
with her
just
just
getting
across my
really
chest.
heavy. For a while, it was fine. Like she was so small, and now she's just really heavy.
She's scout size now.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. They grow up so
She's a real
fast.
cuddler, though. She like plops in.
Oh yeah, nuzzles. Just
Yeah.
get the man.
She can get
Get
bigger.
a dog, everyone. I hope not, but yes.
Yeah, she for sure. Her
she's-
paws are so heavy.
I know.
She like those are clubs. She's like swinging clubs around. I'm like, stop.
She
You don't know
is in
how
that
dangerous
like
those things are.
she is in that like playful phase where like she just bats at
Yeah.
everything. You
and
know,
they're heavy.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
weighted gloves.
Yeah, she swings a real mean right hook. We have a fun show today. We do, as I mentioned, have Conrad out in the field. He's down at the Horseshoe, or I guess at Paris. He's going to be talking to a few of the weekend warriors in line, getting a little bit of their insight as far as this Gladiator event goes. I'm going to discuss yesterday's tragic session that I went through. By the way, like for everybody out there in the Twitterverse, you all are fucking nits. Like I'm so fired up today from this. I mean, it's incredible that I'm still surprised at how tight everyone is. Why are you calling with second pair? He could just have top pair. Why are you bluffing? What if he calls?
You sound like Oaken.
I was like, wait, Oaken wouldn't say
Brian
that.
Oaken is the
Right.
Twitterverse.
Yeah, they're all chat pros. I'm actually like, I'm always astonished. It never surprises me like how risk averse people are, but
Good news is you locked your seat up for the next decade.
I don't think that is true at all. I think like some people will sit there and say like, yeah, he's a spewy punter, and other people will say like, man, I wouldn't want to have Jax in that spot.
I just meant the P&L.
It doesn't work that way. If it
should.
did, I would have been out a long, long time ago. So yeah, we'll discuss all that stuff. I guess, you know, big congratulations to Lamana. He found his first bag of the summer.
We're not bricking the summer, boys and girls.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't
Just one
actually find a
cash.
bag.
One
Just
cash, no
Oh.
bag.
Hell.
I'm memeing him. He just like
he went with it. I
steamrolls
thought-
right through it. He's like, "Yep, a bag."
Did you say congratulations? I
I
thought
just
you were gonna.
believed
I thought
him.
you were gonna say all my cash.
He just jumped the gun.
Yeah,
He didn't listen to the rest
he
of the
doesn't.
sentence.
He doesn't get the compliment.
Because why would you like if you say congratulations? Why would you say on a bag when I didn't
He's
bag?
pissed.
Like it's just so dumb.
Same reason.
Like, why do I need to listen to your full statement when I should already know what you're about to say, and then you say something that's not correct and
It's
something
not what you
so
thought he was
dumb?
going to say. Therefore, it's not correct.
I'll have a fucking bag tonight.
What is it, 30-minute levels?
Also, congratulations for buying Iggy Azalea's ass coin at the Pure Top.
Pure Top. No, not Pure Top.
Oh, okay.
It went to 24 cents. I got it at 21.
Oh,
It's
okay.
at 18 right now.
Right. So you held.
Oh, I'm diamond hands,
Diamond
baby.
hands.
He's
Diamond
diamond,
hands, Iggy.
he diamond hands on that booty.
Yeah, I got my diamond hands, and I'm not letting go.
All right,
I'm
let's simmer
clenched.
down.
Grandpa chill.
So my like
Grandpa, chill.
my half brother is like in his 50s and he's been trading meme coins, and he's like out trading me on everything. He like bought Iggy Azalea on like the dip at like 5 million, and then now it's like 200 or whatever.
Wow.
200 million?
And then we bought the Hulk coin
Yeah.
together yesterday, and
Hulkamania, brother.
yeah, it was called Hulkamania,
Of course
and he
it was.
totally rugged everyone. Like he just like
He just pulled the liquidity? What
no,
did he do?
he just like dumped his whole supply and then
Yeah.
like deleted his tweets. And then so there was a screenshot release that was like, so if I just delete the tweets, like it'll all go away. Genius.
I mean, who's holding his feet to the fire here?
It's like
This is the Wild Wild West.
there's like this guy that keeps doing it.
Mm. So there's one person out
There's
there.
a bad actor.
Yeah. Speaking of actors, not bad ones, but Roaring Kitty came back into the fold today.
Came roaring back.
Yeah.
650,000 people watching his live stream.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just like right back in the middle of it, huh?
I know, it's so crazy.
Let's check the GameStop.
Well, it went down. It was like kind of sell the news.
Yeah, it was like down 22% when I looked.
Yeah, but he had $140 million like position, I
yeah.
guess, like options or something.
So I watched the Netflix thing and it left me a little puzzled and confused at the end. I don't know what the resolution ended up being, and I definitely don't understand how he still has such a big position in GameStop.
He sold. I think he sold, right? Or
I
maybe
thought he said he
didn't.
had like 100 million or something stupid.
I don't
At like
really
peak,
know.
right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
But he definitely profited.
of course he profit. I mean, he had like a ridiculous amount. I
I think
assume
he
that
started with 50K and then he had like 50 million. but-
Definitely sell the news. It's down 37%.
Oh, look at that.
today.
Your Iggy's down 6 to 16.
Oh no.
We're
Relax.
watching in real time Lamana's
Real time
net
Lamana
worth
just
go down.
melting down.
Listen, it's not like I put my life savings on it, right? A few $100.
He's
You
all
better
in.
find that fucking
Few
He's all
$100.
in.
bucks.
Yeah, that was your gladiator
I
pockets.
know. Basically, yeah. Well, it's all my investors and profits.
Okay.
Sorry,
Right.
everybody. I
Sorry,
can't
team.
pay everybody
She,
out.
I guess she's doing an interview with Forbes or something. so
Everybody that bought a
Okay,
piece
maybe
of my
it'll spike.
package, I can't pay
Sorry,
you back.
I put all
because
that package
it's
money
all,
into
it's all
Iggy.
into Iggy.
Brian's
So-
gonna go to Fiji if you're gonna try to find him.
Right.
He and All American
Post a
Dave.
billion. We're all rich.
Yeah, but you'll be gone by then. They ain't getting paid.
It's only like a 5x.
I have to leave early, by the way. Apparently, they blind you out in the shootout.
Okay. Whenever you need to
Yeah.
go, you can go. Well, that would be a shame. You won't be here to get mad at me or get mad with me at the chat pros.
Oh.
Or maybe to defend the chat pros. Who knows? We'll see. We're gonna leave it up to the manager and Miss Poo Dog instead.
Can I leave now? From the blind side?
From the blind side.
So, was there anything
You
of
guys are
note?
bad with references.
Was there anything of note from this live stream?
Well, he started like 30 minutes late, and then
It's a good way to curate
this-
an audience.
yeah,
Trust
so-
me. If I've learned anything,
That's actually true.
starting on time is the worst
Why
idea we
is
have.
that up?
he's just like
Guapo's just stimming over there.
he's just like he's like
still
let me
busy
check
with
out my
that.
assets.
Hey man, Landon was talking about getting to his event
Let me
late.
check
I just
my
wanted to update
assets.
the people.
That was
alright?
10 minutes ago.
It's 10 seconds ago. It was 10 seconons ago.
Sorry, Guap. You're doing good.
Lamana's fucking hot today,
I know,
man.
he's
He
Guapo,
needs that
you-
bag. He's feral for the bag.
You better not cross him. Continue with the Roaring Kitty news.
I forget what I was saying.
He started late.
Oh yeah, he started late, and then he was wearing like bandages and stuff, like pretending that he was playing like those like heart monitors from the hospital, and like pretending that he was like dying because the stock
Okay.
was going down. It was like really weird, and everyone was like, "Is he okay?"
This is what you do for a living now.
Well, I didn't have anything invested in this. I was just interested.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in a general sense, this is your fingers on the pulse of this
Oh,
nonsense.
I'm on the pulse, yeah. And then
That was his
I
heart.
don't know. He was just talking about. I think there's I don't know, maybe GME's coming out with an energy drink or something.
Okay.
I have no
The
idea. I
GameStop
stopped
energy
watching
drink?
because I was like,
Yeah.
there's nothing really. He's just kind of shooting the shit. He seems like a cool guy. Have you watched Dumb Money, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie is it's just really good, actually.
It's very good.
The
And
cast is great.
I imagine that he's not as cool in real life as that actor
no, he
portrays him.
mocks that actor, actually.
Really?
Like, he's way better looking than that actor.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, but
actually
I
wild.
wasn't talking about looks. Like he
He
played the
mocks
role
him.
really well.
Yeah, no, he's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's, like,
I mean,
he's
yeah,
built different.
he built different. He likes the stock.
Okay. Well, God bless. I mean, I don't know what the GameStop vertical is here, but I don't think it's still just selling video games.
No, I don't think so either. They better figure something out, or
Like an
something's
energy
gonna happen.
All right. Let's get to the streets. Maybe check in on what's going on at this Gladiator before we hear about Lamana's day yesterday. We got Connie out there. He's in the
poppin',
mix.
everybody?
What is popping?
Connie!
Oh shit!
We're out here in the streets, but I have to tell you, this whole bit was like for the line, right? Let
There's
me
no
show
line.
you what the line looks like. That's
Wow.
over here on this side and on the other side. It's ridiculous. I need a line. What's going on?
There's no line.
So there's
Yeah.
just no people to talk to.
I think
It's just like-
everybody.
What about that guy
I'm
behind
gonna
you?
ask
Go
this
talk
guy.
to that
Actually,
guy.
this guy right here. This guy right here.
Okay.
How you doing, boss? Quick question. Fight, marry, send to Guantanamo Bay. Phil Hellmuth, Mike Mattisau, Danny Negreanu.
We got shot. Oh, he just said no.
That was hilarious.
English.
He didn't speak English.
The good news is that it's probably for the best because it doesn't seem like your microphone's working. You're talking through your AirPod.
Yeah, we couldn't hear him.
No, we can't hear him at all.
Oh.
And now you're frozen.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
Oh no! All right, well we tried.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Are you?
Oh, there
are
you
you?
are.
You're in Horseshoe.
That's horseshoes.
Oh, you got to go to Paris. The Wi-Fi in
I am
Horseshoe
in
is
the horseshoe
awful.
right now.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi in Horseshoe is awful. You got to go to Paris. It's much better. I only know this from streaming Bucko games.
Stop by the day 2 of the 25K. I'm sure they'll love
But-
that question.
They don't start till 1.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right, Conrad. That was great.
Honestly, the Wi-Fi is really bad for streaming in Horseshoe.
It's
Well, why
going
is
through
he-
my headphones, not through
What the hell's happening?
I don't know.
Or Mary.
He's
Phil
blacking out.
Helmuth, Mike Madisell.
You can't even see this
Don't worry,
person.
don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Thank you.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy. He went to the same guy.
It's the same guy.
No,
Oh my god.
Honestly, this is funnier than if he actually was able to ask the question.
Right,
The
yeah.
translator.
Just him getting like shut down by the same guy over.
Go
and
back to him
over.
in 5 minutes. See if he
Yeah, try
has a new
again.
answer.
Try again later.
No. He came to me, guys.
Oh, he came
Oh.
back to
Actually,
you.
I'm out.
All right, you
Yeah,
need to
he
get off
came back to
Wi-Fi.
me.
Yeah, get off Wi-Fi. Get on the stuff.
Get off Wi-Fi. Go over to the Paris.
It was like a trial run.
Go
We
find
We got a
someone
whole
interesting.
summer to figure it out.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're gonna have to try this again. First of
By the
all,
main event. Oh man, you're gonna be.
what happened to the microphone I gave you? First of all,
Yeah, he needs
that's
one of
the
those
first
little-
question. He has one.
Oh. I forgot it. You gave me a
Oh,
microphone.
shot.
Jesus
What do you expect the people to talk into, Conrad?
Well, I kind of forgot the microphone. I forgot all about that thing.
Okay, great bit. We'll try this again maybe next week. Thank you for your
All right, see you guys next
participation.
week.
Good luck in the Gladiator, sir.
Once again, it's a what do you exactly
What
do
do you
here?
That was
do
hilarious.
here?
No, that was gold. That
You know,
was
that was actually pretty good.
He found a guy that doesn't speak English. He went back to the guy who didn't speak English. The guy came back to him to talk about how
we
he didn't
couldn't
speak
hear
English.
the guy at all because
Yeah.
there's no mic.
That's exactly how I thought this would
All
play
you
out.
hear, all you hear is Dan DeGrano, Mike Madisell, Phil
Yeah,
Helmuth,
Dan DeGrano. The guy's like, what?
Guantanamo.
Oh man, I had my reservations of just letting Conrad out in the loose.
Nah, you had high hopes for this.
But I was like, hey, he does this for poker.org. Like, he can do it for us.
and that's why he doesn't do it for them anymore.
I'm
No,
starting
he had
to see.
that one video for them that was really funny with when he's looking in the vending machine thing at the blue light.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
thing
that was good.
funny.
That was good. How was your experience yesterday? 10-handed poker.
I got to the table and I looked around and I was like, fuck. Because I thought, because like, I mean,
What did you accidentally sit in the 25K?
yeah, I
Stepped in shit.
I started stimming. No, but the Mystery Millions. I mean, they had almost 20,000 people in that. They were 9-handed the whole time, right? They got these new rooms. They opened up more tables. I'm like, they're just never gonna do 10-handed again.
Right.
It was just.
You were
Too
wrong.
short.
Yeah, I was
Short-lived.
wrong. Yeah, so we had to play 10-handed, but it was okay. Everybody was great. The field was
Honestly,
softish.
good. You deserve to play 10-handed.
What do you mean
Yeah.
soft?
If you want a
I'm
$300
trying to be nice
buy-in,
to the people. It was a soft field.
He's being kind.
if you want
Yeah.
a $300 buy-in, you have to play 10-handed. Them's
Yeah.
the rules.
You know what?
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it. I've made peace with it. I'm gonna go down again today. I cashed, right? It was good. I had a lot of money on the bubble. Tried to run 400K to $1 million, but I ended up going down to 200K.
What happened?
I just kept running into good hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll-
Got people flatten me
trying
with
to bully.
kings. And,
That'll happen in a 10-handed
Yeah.
table
mm-hmm.
with a bunch of South
Yeah.
Point
Everyone's touching
regs.
And then I
tips.
try
touching
to.
tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really should do this one online.
Oh my God! Listen to this. This is insane, right? So a guy, he had to be, I don't know, in his 60s, right? We're on the bubble. He just rockets it off three barrel bluffs all in with a good candidate. He had like blocker to the straight and a pair for blocker to 2 pair.
He watches the
And-
pod.
But I'm just like, you just don't expect an older gentleman to just fire it all in, just blast away on the bubble. And I mean, he got called by top kicker.
Mm-hmm.
The guy made a really good call in the end. And then I'm just like, man, this, what the hell? And I look up and he got a South Point hat on. He is a man of the jewel. That's what we do there.
Oh, he
We
definitely
just-
watches the pod. though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
I was
gave
like,
you.
this man knows.
He just gave you a little wink and a tip
Respect.
of the cap.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, this guy gets it.
How many subscriptions you out there selling, Manager? This is the field for it. You know.
Yeah.
Got to really shill that Matt Hunt course.
I'll try.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe take your cards today. You know.
We still have those?
They're in the drawer downstairs. Everything's in the drawer downstairs.
Just like those stickers of you and Conrad
nope,
looking like
nope,
gang
Like
members.
little
Nope.
cards for like a little discount code or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be
We
good.
had them the summer that we had a booth. We had a QR code. They gave everybody a
Yeah,
discount, but
yeah.
Or we have like a Bust the Turtle win a prize and they get like a free month.
sure.
Put a
Sure.
bounty
He's
on
like,
my
by
head.
the way, anyone at this table, if you bust me, you get a free month to the site. They're like, what are you talking about?
What site?
Is that on the X? Quick update for the bracelet winners. 2 new bracelet winners yesterday. The 10K dealer's choice came to an end. We saw one, Robert Mizraki, ship this for $333,000. He tweeted that when you're listening on your flight to the 25K fantasy draft and only your friend takes you for $1 because they have faith, it gives you a little extra motivation.
Wow.
That's pretty sick.
Love to see it. Real steal for $1 there.
He's got 5 bracelets.
He taught his brother. The irony is his brother has 3 alone in just the Players' Championship.
Amazing.
Wow.
These Mizraki brothers.
They just find a way in the
They
mixed
do.
games, man. You know, it's like they're not folders, so they got that going for them.
Good.
And we'll talk all about that
Just
as this
pay.
episode goes on. You can't fucking be out here folding. You
Can't be
goddamn
folding.
nits. These fucking nits, man. Speaking of a non-folder, big friend of the show and one of my favorite humans on earth, Bruno Caleb Firth. His actual name is Caleb Bruno Firth, but he goes by Bruno. Wins the $1,500 Pot Limit Omaha high-low 8 or better 8-handed bracelet.
That's a mouthful.
$265,000. I believe this is Bruno's first bracelet. No one more deserving than him. He had like 60% of the chips in play with 8 left. It was one of the most impressively extreme chip lead wire-to-wire final tables that I've witnessed in quite some time. Had like basically 60% of the chips in play all the way down to heads up until he just won the whole thing. Andreas Froley, I'm sure I mispronounced that, but
That's pretty good.
he's a reg in the streets. He got 4th for 90K. That's the only other name I really recognize out of the final 9. So congratulations to Bruno. Big fan of his pup. Always like to see the dog dads out there shipping it. Not like, the poker dad who's now retired. AKA,
I played cash the other day
Did
for
you?
an hour.
yeah? How'd
Did you
that
win?
go?
I
For
made
an hour.
$100 and I was bored to tears. And then I
Fuck
walked
me to
off.
tears!
Like, do
Is
I
this
need to
live
play
or online,
bigger
Melissa?
Online.
She was testing the new software.
Yeah, it's cool, I guess.
So last time you touched an actual chip.
The cruise. I
Ah.
played cash on the cruise.
You're cooking.
Yeah, I cooked.
You
I
couldn't
think
play
I won
online.
like $500.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't much, but it's
yeah.
honest work.
Yeah, it's honest work for, a couple hours. It's fine.
What were you playing online? 50 cents a dollar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, this is a grind. Well, it's just like so. It's
Yeah,
so,
you're
my
playing a $100
dopamine receptors
buy-in.
are
Yeah.
so burned out now
Right.
to money that I'm just like,
Well,
I
when
need
you're
to play
watching
bigger
meme
or
coins
something?
go shoot up and down, it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. My
know.
brain's fried. It's over.
It's
I think I
over.
have an in the muck hand where you and I played a hand, Melissa.
Uh-oh.
You have it in the muck hand? Did you
Yeah.
bluff me that hand?
I
I bluffed you in a different hand.
I went nuts in one hand, and I probably
When you
shouldn't have.
overbet the river,
Yeah,
I was like, Guapo's not
I was
bluffing.
out of position, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a 6. I had a bottom pair. I was gonna call, but I was like, Guapo's not finding enough bluffs.
What was the board?
I forget.
I'll have to find it, and we'll have it for next week. But
Okay.
I think I torched it.
A little tease for next week.
I'm
I mean, I
excited for this
folded.
one.
I
Yeah.
almost called you with
Well,
a
it
6.
sounds like you
I
folded
wanted
bottom
you to.
pair.
obviously,
I did. I
wanted-
folded a very low pair. I called a 3-bet. It was 3-bet pot. I was like, I would be. I would.
A 5 came on the river pairing the 5.
Yeah, and I was like, I would be torching it if I called Guapo with like a low pair.
I just always have quads. Is that what you're saying?
No, not quads. I just thought you had like a good like overpair or something.
Okay.
I think that's probably a reasonable read.
I'm not gonna call him with a 6. I felt like I'm gonna click call and look like a fucking idiot because like Guapo's overbetting for the first time in his life.
And now,
I love this image.
I did tank though. I
you
tanked for
did.
a
I thought I
while.
was
I
gonna
was
get a
like,
call.
No
this is-
respect
If I
around
had
here,
any
Guapo.
better pair than a 6, like I'd probably call. But
he does tend to be a hedger.
because I'm not blocking any like boats. I have a 6. Like you're not gonna 3-bet 6s. So I don't know. Didn't seem good.
That's true. What was the overall experience like yesterday outside of being 10-handed? It was relatively soft as you've spoken to.
Yeah. Everything went smooth, I think. I mean,
How many runners did they get?
They got for the first day around 3,800, I think.
That's so many
3,800.
people.
But I mean,
that's actually. Is it
first-
3 days?
4 days.
4 days.
4
Okay.
days you can re-enter twice, so you can max fire 12 bullets.
Okay, so it's 4 total flights, not
4
multiple in a day, right?
4 total flights, yeah. Monday,
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
True weekend warrior event.
Right, it is a true weekend warrior event. A lot of people are coming. I think they're in town, or maybe they live here, and they're like here to fire like maybe 1, maybe 2 bullets in this thing. I got $300, and I want to play a World Series event, so this is the one to do it. And we're having a party.
This is the event you grandstanded for. This is the one where you said, absolutely not, Berkey, you're wrong. We need a $300
No,
event.
that was a Colossus.
They're going to get 80,000 people for this event.
Are they running
They're
both?
gonna get over 20,000.
Do they run the
Over
Colossus
20.
and this tournament?
Yes.
Wow.
20,000
Colossus
unique
is
people or entries?
entries.
Entries.
The Colossus is like long structured, right?
No.
No.
It's not the hour level.
It's literally the same event.
It's
Oh.
yeah. I think the structure is slightly better in the Colossus. Cause in this
It's
one
30-40, I think, right?
it's 30-40, but in this one they take out the 500 levels, like the 500, the 5,000.
Right.
I think they add it back in when you get to 50,000.
Okay.
That's
Nice of them.
Yeah. So if you bag this thing, you're probably getting down to 3-4% of the field. So
Well.
bagging is huge.
About time to
Right,
bag it.
right, yeah. So like, say there's 20,000 people in this thing, you get a bag, and you're down to 600 people.
What time
Yeah.
did he play to?
I think they probably ended up playing till around midnight, which is not
Okay.
bad.
What time did you bust?
I busted at 9:30.
All right.
Yeah.
You got to better that today. Are you
Yeah.
firing max?
No, 4 bullets.
Okay.
Yeah, just 4 bullets. So hopefully,
2 today, 2 tomorrow, or so?
I played 1 yesterday. No, just 1 each day.
You cashed.
I did cash.
Yeah, so you don't get an additional one?
Well, no, because it's not on the package.
Well, I mean, you can just text everyone, roll it over.
I mean, I could.
Yeah,
that
But
money went to
it's not
Iggy
gonna-
Azalea's mother coin.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
also
not-
you should probably pull that out because the market's dumping. It's probably dumping too.
Boy, let's see. Let's see what we got here.
Mother.
Oh yeah.
Nah, it's still holding.
bueno.
It's holding strong. Never mind.
15?
It just updated. Yeah, 14.
Mother.
Come on, Mother Iggy.
We're dumping down.
Tell
I
your
played
children
the
not to
mystery
hold
bounty
my
yesterday,
hand.
and Aria did something pretty cool, I think, where after the first break, after registration was over, they changed levels from 30 minutes to 40 in 1100,
Mhm.
which was pretty nice, I think. Like I just didn't expect it. They were
After the first break?
like you max late reg, and then
after
and then you,
registration
and then
ends.
one
That's kinda
break,
nice.
one break
That's nice.
I
after
like that.
registration ends. So like you max, you get like 30-minute levels for 2 hours, and then once you're getting closer to the bubble, and there's like 200 left and like 100 and something paid.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, it's 40-minute levels now for the rest of the
I
tournament.
like that.
Yeah.
Seemed
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Super
Well,
happy.
especially for a 1-day event, right? Like 2-day events, you could just make day
Dude,
2.
they finished at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And they finished at 4 a.m. because they chopped 3-handed.
See, you don't get when I try to discourage you from playing these 1-day events. I'm trying to save some fucking gas in the tank for that final push, and you're just like,
Realize-
no, I gotta play fucking everything.
He's cooking though. I didn't realize they went that long. Like
I
those
mean, it's a 1-day
one-day
event. It's gonna go till it fucking ends.
It'll be
Yeah.
a
A
while.
lot of them will go to like I remember the Win series. They were running like 1Ks last year. A lot of them would go till like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
hard to fucking finish a big field event in 1 day in under 16 hours.
It got 900 people.
Yeah, that's gonna take
That's
16
crazy,
hours.
yeah.
We got 900
Yeah.
people. It was
And then
sick.
you get 10th, and you're like, and it's 4 a.m.
They
and
should
you're
probably
like,
make them super turbos or something.
Right, probably shouldn't switch to 40-minute levels.
Yeah. Actually
they should
switch to
probably
20.
Switch
Yeah.
it to 10. Shit.
Or like they make it 40 minutes while you get to the bubble, and then they make it 15 when you make the money. So
And
everyone's just all in
have
for the
the
bounties.
blinds go up exponentially, just like double,
Whenever I
double.
would play like the 30 or 20-minute level tournaments, I think it turns me into like the worst version of myself.
Yes.
Because everyone's too slow for me.
Yes.
I'm like, the level, hello, I'm like pointing the clock every time. Like,
Clock's ticking.
I'm like, levels are short. Let's go. Come on. I'm just like the worst person.
We're
Like,
not
I don't
built
like
for
who
this,
I am
Melissa.
in tournament. No.
I encourage people
I
to slow
like who
down.
I am when I play cash, though.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm
don't
like,
like who I
let me
am.
order some food.
Yeah, we
Get a Diet Coke.
we're just here to ravage.
You just have
motherfuckers.
so much
Take
more.
a break when I
you
want.
can't get a
Yeah, you
Diet
just have
Coke
so much
playing-
more
walk
freedom.
around.
When you're playing cash, you have so much more freedom. You're hungry, just stop, go get something to eat.
You
Just
can't
I feel
get a
like
Diet
I'm
Coke
being,
playing a
you
tournament.
know, like I feel like No, because they're coming around every hour or so.
Plus, they have Pepsi at the
Yeah, and they have the worst part is they have Diet Pepsi, which I will not drink.
DC only.
How dare they?
It's so bad. Like I wish Pepsi would go bankrupt.
We're
Because whenever there's a place and I like, well, we have only have Pepsi, I'm like, never mind then.
It's
God
so,
forbid you have to drink water.
Listen,
I know.
it's so funny because it's never the other way around. It's not like, okay, I have a Pepsi, and like, we only have Coke.
I know,
But
ever.
it's always, I'm sorry, we have Pepsi
Yeah.
products.
No,
Yeah.
Conrad's not here to defend himself. on
Conrad
this
does
one.
like Pepsi. Yeah.
I mean, there's a few
No,
people
but he's
out
got
there
a lot
that
of Diet
prefer
Cokes
that.
over there.
That's because that's what I bought.
Oh.
Jesus.
That's
Because when I
culture.
stocked the fridge, it was with Coke. Because I'm not
DC.
a psychopath who would buy Pepsi.
Right. So
No offense to the Pepsi.
the 25K
Offense.
Six Max kicked off yesterday. Our man Hunt
indeed.
was out there in the field.
Sam
Unfortunately,
bagged.
nice. Lots, littles.
Decent.
Yeah, decent.
Decent
I don't know.
off two.
I just
Okay.
get like complaints throughout the day, kind of like, oh,
You're the support
this
system.
old guy just like fucked me. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry.
He lost bullet one. He lost bullet one to set over flush, and he was sad.
Yeah, it's
And
brutal.
then he bagged, I think, like probably around 400 at like
I just been
150K
giving him
start.
little tips because he not for poker, but for like because he's like,
Just
oh,
life.
it's so hot in here, and
Right.
I'm like, you take a cup of ice and put it on your inner wrist because it
Mm.
cools your main artery.
Mhm.
And he's like, wow, the ice is really working. That's what I'm
Can
here
I make $1
for.
million
Wait,
off
so
of coins?
Hunt did bag. He bagged.
No.
Oh,
no.
they said
Hunt
He-
bag zero.
He busted
Who
aces.
bagged?
Hunt bag zero. Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Sam.
This is why you listen, Brian.
You guys are all talking at the same time, so it's very, very difficult to.
It's 3
hear.
versus 1 out here. Brian's
Right.
fighting for his life.
I gotta get down to the Gladiator. Blinds are ticking away.
Hey, I don't care if it's Friday
Oh.
or not. You don't get to just mail it in, buddy.
Look, you can see like I have these like long because I'm sending him.
You're sending paragraphs.
No, I was because I was reading about Vanderpump Rules, and I was like, I
Yes.
have some tea on Sandoval, and he's like, tell me. So
Is he gonna be on Traders?
no, it was about Billy Lee and stuff.
Oh,
like,
let's hear it. I'm sure the
No one's
fans
gonna
want.
understand
The fans want to
the
know.
fans are gonna be like,
The
this
one
is
fan is in
terrible.
this
Tell
room
me
right
off
now.
air.
I'll tell you
I'm
off
sorry,
air.
we just lost 100
I'll
viewers.
tell you off air.
I think.
It's a little niche.
But he is going to be on the next season of Traders. which
yeah,
should be
I did
very
see
interesting.
that.
Very interesting because he is one.
See, Landon
See, he knows.
I only know because of
Break
the
that.
sick whiz. She loves this. Shit.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
you gotta get in. You gotta get in
I
there.
can't
Get in
get in.
those streets. Come on.
I'm running HRC Sims
I'm trying to
now.
get everyone to get in.
Yes.
Let's get everyone in.
Right.
This is how you end up buying.
Yay!
This is how you end up buying Iggy at the top. You just listen to Melissa.
It's going to $1 billion,
Hey,
guys.
I had it at 800K.
Where's the
okay,
where's the
Going
scam
you guys
When did you
developed?
sell
wanted-
it? When did you sell it?
12 million.
Where's the scam?
800K and you sold it 12 million?
Yes.
That's really, really good.
Thank you, Tortoise. Thank you. It did go to 200 million after that, but you know.
You
we
don't thank
talk
me
about
for
that.
being your exit liquidity.
You're someone else's. I'm already out.
Right. I wish I would have bought at 12 million. I'd still be up. I sold it at 13.
I'll
and
let
I'm
you
like,
know when I sell something because it's probably going to go up like 100x after
Okay,
that.
yeah.
I sell things really early.
I saw it at 13 and I said, I gotta buy this. And then I looked and it was 20. I said, all right, I'm buying.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
just how,
Mama Joe and I are like
I
notoriously
understand how it works
selling
now.
early.
I see how
right.
the scam
This
works.
is why I don't
It's
listen.
great.
Yeah.
This is why
and
I
there's
don't do
so
what
many
she does.
people and there's so much money.
I like
thrown
dabble
around.
and gamble and just like whatever, like a little
It's
bit
like
of money.
max crackhead.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't like go like crazy on.
I've never
I mean,
seen
I
this
would
side
get
of Tortoise.
wrecked. I would get absolutely
It's
wrecked.
funny, right?
It's just like watching him jam
funny.
deuces for 50 pre. Like I just never
He's
saw
like,
this
yeah,
side
let's
of
get
it.
in.
Yeah.
I
No,
still owe you some Starbucks, Melissa. Thank you very much.
Oh, for the free Trump coin.
Yeah,
Free
I
Trump
did-
coin,
I did go on
yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The fam cooked on that one.
Congratulations, you guys are contributing to the downfall of society.
No, they're gambling up. The society's burning. You got to
It's
gamble
literally
up.
just a casino.
Gamble it up.
The meme world, the meme coin world. It's literally just a casino. It's another
is,
casino.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Are you guys buying the Andrew Tate?
No, I stayed out of
I
that
don't
one.
even think I like.
I mean, he's out there dropping racial slurs.
no,
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah,
Can't
his
do it.
coin
I don't
went
care. It's
from-
not worth $1
went to
million.
like 20 million today.
Yep, it'll plummet.
But if you show
would
that to an
plummet.
accountant, it's going to be awkward.
Can you explain yourself? Nope.
Yeah, it's just like a hard R. They're like,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no room for that.
no censorship.
Speaking
Those
of
streets.
slurs, Airball, the fall of this man has been well documented. He was escorted out of the Aria last night
my
by
God.
allegedly 10 security guards.
Why?
Airball
I guess he
Rick.
Because nine wasn't enough.
Right, 9 wasn't enough. That's why. I guess he blacked out and was calling somebody a homophobic slur
Oh.
time and time again. And as somebody who
couldn't imagine.
no, I mean, as someone who may or may not have confronted him over some similar type of rhetoric, I can believe the likelihood that this is true.
I can. It's very believable.
He's on
He
pace.
was just asking the person where they got
What's
their
been- what's
buy-in,
been
Berk.
I haven't heard any like new. I haven't really been so tapped. My finger's not as on the pulse in poker, but what's been going on?
it's not
with
quite as wet.
Airball. It's not. No, it's quite dry.
I mean, he's still
Is
just.
he okay?
I think he's doing the smart thing in getting banned from everywhere that he plays.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. It's been a real. It was a short rise, and it's been a long fall
Wow.
from grace.
Who could have
here.
saw it coming?
Yeah,
Who the
remember that
hell could have
video?
ever-
Yeah, he
You
might
were
have.
bricked the fuck
He may
up.
have asked me whose dick I sucked to get my buy-in that day, prior to us squaring off. So no real surprise
That was like
here.
the biggest thirst trap you could have posted.
Yeah, that
You got-
video
you
did
got
very well
so
for
many,
you.
Like
The women liked it.
so much
was
attention
fu-
from that.
It was really funny because obviously nothing was going through my head other than I'm going to murder this
Well,
guy.
yeah.
But the aftermath was dudes hating me. Like, look at this fucking hardo. He thinks he's such a badass. And girls are like, are those gray sweats?
They were like, "Wow, I really loved the way you handled yourself. I'm so impressed." It was like the best thing that could have. That whole thing was like the best thing that
I'm
could have
so
happened.
It really was.
Way to make lemonade out of lemons.
Like that kid on the corner.
Yeah.
That kid. I'm gonna stop
Shout
one
out
of
to
these
that
days.
kid.
I'm gonna stop one of these days and just like discuss his business plan.
I love that
Be
kid.
like, hey, we gotta talk. Like,
He's so cute. He's like his little lemonade stand. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it.
yeah. How much,
Berkey's like, I will.
how much
invest.
lemonade have you bought from
Yeah.
him?
I've not bought any because I feel like I'm nervous. Like I just like I love him. So I'm like a fan.
That's funny.
One
I always
glass,
just give them
please.
money. I don't actually take the lemonade.
Right.
I'm just like, here you
They're
go for
also
the
in
hustle.
like
That's
an
sharp.
inconvenient corner. Like it's a very like
That's what I'm
high
saying.
traffic corner.
I need to talk to him because it's like, hey,
God.
look. I don't know if you're aware of
It's hard
location
to
and
stop there.
how important this is, but right up the block at a much less
Yeah,
high.
where the Girl Scouts were.
Yeah, the Girl Scouts.
They had it on
the
point.
the people selling fresh fruit.
You can't do
and
this.
sometimes
Yeah.
flowers.
Can't do this.
If it starts to get territorial, those Girl Scouts might
He's
fuck
gonna
around.
go back to
Yeah.
his parents and be like, "How was selling the lemonade today?" And say some weird guy came up to me talking about my business
yeah,
model.
then his roommate asked if I wanted to like live with them. It was really weird.
They're like, just run the other way and call
So he's
911.
like, I'm calling the police.
No, and he brought his little brother out now. Like they're so cute. I hope my
But
kids
like,
do
there's a
that.
giant church compound right across the street. How about we set up in that
That's
parking
true,
lot?
yeah.
Go there.
Like they're
They're
people of
probably not
God. They're not
allowed.
going to kick you out.
They have the
Right.
donation van right there. They're probably not allowed to.
That
Like,
is
fuck
true.
with that.
You're just like,
And shockingly, it's windowless. I mean, who would have thought?
you just want 10%. That's it. That's all
That's,
you
I
want.
just want my cut.
Yeah.
I just want my cut.
You're
Like,
gonna show up like a month later and be like, "Where's my fucking money?"
He's out there for hours. He's working.
He's slaving his way just to
He's
get you
working.
10%.
right.
Just to get you $5.
Like, look, we got to get you. The Smiths is literally 2 blocks away. Like, let's
That
get
would be
you
good,
on
yeah.
that. It's a high traffic area.
Let's get you out there.
There's a gas station. People will stop. Like let's. If you're gonna really solicit yourself on the corner,
Oh my god! Here, listen,
For
kid.
lemonade.
This is how you work a corner.
Right.
All right.
let's
Yeah,
discuss.
can't wait till he uses
He
that
is
word
so cute, though.
soliciting
He's
with his
getting
parents.
older now, though. I liked when he was like
He's
a
getting
little
older.
chunky boy. He's so cute.
Shout
I
out to
love
Lemonade
kids.
Man. All right.
You gotta love kids. Where's mine?
Where's mine?
All right. I'm glad the spirits are high because we got to talk about my day yesterday.
Because now they're about to
Just
become very,
bring
very
everybody
low.
down.
Honestly, I so the day before I was up 125K and I roughly broke even. I lost small. And I was way more upset about that than I was losing 230K yesterday. I was explaining to Landon, like the day that I was like winning piles and then ended up breaking even, it was like death by paper cuts.
Oh,
right?
that's the worst.
You just lose like 30 pots that are between like $15,000 and $30,000 where it's just like pay. And you're just watching your graph go like this Just
You're describing
it's
the
all
heads
flat.
up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how the heads up went. Just loose.
Just like
Right.
me when I buy like 10 rugs.
Exactly.
Just like slowly bleeding.
Right. And
And
it's
then you
like,
hit like a 20x.
and you just had good insight on all the rugs. Like they were premium buys, and they just didn't work out for you.
Insight on the rug.
Well,
I don't know
you know.
about premium, but
Okay, well,
Egyptian.
She had lemonade
I'm
kit at
chucking
3
money
cents.
around.
Right.
You know? It's like, you gotta spread a
I
wide
wasn't being so spewed. I was. It was just like, okay, you got second nut flush. Like we pay. And I was like really frustrated at the end of it. It's like, God, man, I was tired. I could have just left early, locked up a win. Like
Lock it up.
picking up 1,200 big blinds is pretty fucking nice. Maybe just shut her down and don't get greedy. But I got greedy. I lost. Whatever.
Cruise control,
The thing is that I really do try to take a zoomed out approach where it's just like, am I making an hourly while I'm here? If yes, then like, okay, fine, stay. Like if the game deteriorates and I think my hourly's hurt, then like, okay, go home. But like yesterday, it happened in flash. Like no death by paper cuts, just like lose a 100K pot, lose a
The
200K
guillotine.
pot.
Oh.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's fine.
You prefer that.
I would prefer that all day as long as like it's
course.
not predicated off of an error.
Nobody
Like,
likes a slow bleeding death. They just
Yeah.
want it to be over.
well, it's not a death. That's the problem. It's a
You've been
flesh wound.
resurrected.
It's a flesh
Speaking of
wound.
a slow bleeding death,
Oh,
you need
no.
to sell Lamana. Right now. Just sell, buddy. This is not.
Oh,
I think all those red lines are bad, right?
Oh, yeah. That's
No, the
that's a
candle's
lot
coming, bro.
of
Wait for the
candles.
candle.
It
Green,
looks like
green.
It looks like
I said-
it
so
looks
I'm
like
in,
it broke
like-
support.
I'm in like a bunch of like Telegram groups, and then one of them, they all have like 40 people in them, but one of them I was like, you guys should probably sell Mother if you have. They go, how do I short?
Yeah. Can you sure?
Yeah, is there a short market for?
No, only for like whiff, like the really big ones.
I don't know what chart you're looking at, Guapo, but it's up since the last time I looked at it.
What do we
I don't
at?
know. I'm on the live.
We're at
I'm on the live
15.3.
3-minute chart.
Guapo's on 3
I
minutes.
was
I'm
gonna-
only down 25%.
If I had to
That's
guess,
all right.
if I had to guess
Time
who's
in
more
hand.
accurate here, for once, I'm gonna go with Guapo.
What do you mean?
Well, I just feel like you're a little boomerish. Maybe your tech is a little bit behind.
I'm on TradingView, okay?
Are you using
Oh,
my?
wait, it just
are you
refreshed.
using my ref link, by the way?
Hmm?
Are you using my ref link, my trading bot ref link?
No.
What the hell?
I know. I'm on TradingView, I said.
Yeah, but you got to get on there. I have 3 referrals.
Come
I
on,
don't know who
I
they
will,
are.
I will. Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, get on there.
Well, it's like
I'm trying to-
$13 and
You get 10% off fees.
yeah, 10% off fees, and then
10%
she
off
gets
fees.
15% kickback on fees.
She's gonna buy a
I
lemonade
get
from the kid if you do it.
Wow.
You better support small businesses and buy it and
That's
use your
right,
ref
support
link.
It's
your
all going to
local-
Lemonade Stand Kid.
She's gonna make a coin, lemonade
Gonna
coin.
send him like $1,000.
Support your local.
I'm coming here every day. You better have a picture for me.
Yeah.
Mama's thirsty.
All right.
It's hot out there.
So
All right. That's just not a creepy thing.
What is going on with Bitcoin, by the way? Like, because there's been something weird's going on. There's been $2 billion worth of ETFs bought in the last 3
I
days,
know.
and it was flat, and now it's down. Like
Whoa.
some market manipulation shit's going down.
Got to be something.
I mean,
right?
I think BlackRock's trying to get some cheap Bitcoin.
we should
I'm
ask
sure
Nikki.
they are.
We should ask this. She would know. It's obviously the Illuminati.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
think you're
behind
right.
all of this.
No, it's just BlackRock.
Well,
It's
that's
Pelosi.
That's the
that's
Illuminati.
1/8 of the Illuminati. you know?
Basically.
Come
Yeah,
on.
there has been a lot of influence.
Shout out to Nikki.
Anyways, back to Berkey. Red line.
Yeah, speaking of market manipulation.
And Berkey's red line.
Speaking of market manipulation, so yesterday I was playing 100, doing okay, up like 15, 20K. I get a text from Lewis the Scarf.
That's a great name.
It's such a good name for him.
Lewis the Scarf Spencer. He says,
The
he
scarf
says,
boy.
come join this 25K, Burke. Juice the prize pool for us. I said, can't be bothered. He said, just max late reg day too. I said, sure. Let me play 20 big blinds while you pant heavily into your scarf over a 2 big blind river decision. He says, I'll wear a t-shirt if you reg this MTT. I said, shirtless and you got a deal. He goes, no one wants to see that. I said, fine. GTO is life tank top and I'm in. Final offer. He said, I'll play the 250K in full clown makeup if you reg this.
Wow.
I said, you have yourself a deal, buddy. And then he backtracked.
Unbelievable.
He goes, nah,
I mean,
it's-
very believable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta call these scarf motherfuckers out on their bluffs.
These fens.
He said, no, it's too tilt. You're just gonna dust it all to Coon anyway.
That's probably true.
Probably true. So instead, I stayed in my element. The game was like okay. It was very slow.
You
like,
probably should have taken him up on that offer.
I know. It's kind of ironic that I had my biggest career loss in that room yesterday when at like 5 p.m. I looked around and I said, wow, like these two games running, there's no violence. Like these are just like two very calm, everybody's going to play nice. You're going to win a bunch of small pots, lose a bunch of small pots type of poker.
They're not the violent one. You are.
I know, but like
You're the one who knocks.
Yeah, but you need a sparring partner. You know, you can't just walk around
You
beheading
find one.
people.
They're just
You
waiting.
pick someone.
They're just waiting to cooler you.
Yeah.
They got
They're like
me.
Birdman outside the window waiting for Matt
Yeah.
to have a fucking triple off.
They got me.
Okay, I gotta run. I'm gonna go to Horseshoe or else I get blinded out.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, bye.
Good luck,
Good luck,
Landon.
Landon.
1500 shootout. Pew pew.
All right.
Shoot them out.
Remember,
Do
win
you-
or you're out of the family.
Does this work where you get to re-enter?
Just go, man.
Is
Crawling.
the 1500 work where you
Crawling
get to
on the
re-enter?
Re-enter?
Yeah, because there's
How
two
do you
flights.
re-enter
Well, there's
a-
two flights. There's a flight now and there's an
so you
afternoon
can play
flight.
the second flight, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, he's gonna have two cracks at it then. I
Hopefully
suppose.
just one.
Yeah. If he wins his table, winning tables are hard.
I know. It seems harder than like.
He
a
did last
normal
year.
I've won my table twice.
I've
I've
won
played
one
it like
once.
3 or 4 times, I think.
Never
I
played
played it
one.
maybe twice or maybe 3 times. I've won once. This is way
I lost heads up to Natasha Mercier. That one was devastating.
Mm.
She fucking
For
sunran me.
bracelet.
No, for day 2. Yeah, and I it's funny, the one year that I won my table, the second day was 4-handed. And it was like, oh my God, this is the fastest path to a fucking bracelet of all time.
Yeah.
I got third. Busted very quickly. But yeah, so the feeder game kind of broke down. We all moved into the main game, and I was like getting tired. I was up like maybe 10,000 or down 10,000. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know, man. This game's like okay. There was like 2 recreationals, but they were limping a lot, and they both had like 15K in front of them. I'm just like, is this worth like staying in a 1-2 game? And I'm looking around. I'm like, if somebody called me and told me that this game was running and that this was the lineup and that I had a seat, I would fucking sprint naked to the Bellagio to get down here.
Yeah.
So I was like, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, you know, play till midnight like you'd planned.
So
and
no regrets. You don't feel like I should just.
no, I feel
think
more
it's good when
regretful
you
with the day
stick to your
before.
plan.
Yeah.
No, it's, for sure, it's good.
I feel a lot more regretful the day before.
I think it's easy to fall into a trap of like, why didn't I just leave? Why didn't I just leave? I would be $250,000 richer.
Yeah, but then
But,
if
like,
you
you
ended
can't
up
think
winning
like
another
that.
$250,000,
Right.
you
Right.
wouldn't think
It's
that.
just so
it's-
results oriented.
The day before, that's exactly how I felt, but it's because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
So I was up a pile. It was like 9 o'clock. I could have left. The game was like shorthanded already, and it wasn't like the softest lineup. And I was like, I should just go. But like what they were doing, you know, sometimes like the game, like the night before the game was the exact opposite sort of meta. Like everybody was just throwing shit at one another. It was like every fucking pot's 50K and no one ever has a hand. And I'm just sitting there like mashing. It's like, okay, well, I think I should just kind of like just continue to stay and do this.
Yeah.
But you forget that like the other side of that is like you're going to be on the wrong end of a bunch of pods.
Right.
And
And it's
they're
like,
gonna be big.
yeah, and it was like I was tired and annoyed and like irritable and emotional, and it was just like I would have been better off leaving the night before. Yesterday, I'm sad I lost the money, but like the hands I feel like are pretty standard, and the game was good enough to justify staying. But yeah, like literally no interesting pots. Like I tweeted a poll asking if people wanted to hear more hand histories, and shockingly, between the options of yes, no, and go fuck yourself, yes actually outperformed go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Very-
strong.
It was 80%
like,
yes.
I
I
know,
expected
like,
80% go fuck
usually
yourself.
the-
20% said no, was like, yeah, no, and go fuck yourself. I'm like,
wow,
okay.
that's actually.
I thought that was
wild.
great. I was like, wow, Berkey's less polarizing than he used to be.
I know. I
Thanks,
know.
Airball.
No actually outperformed go fuck yourself.
Right.
Which is astonishing.
Yeah. You would think
mean-
it would be like 35% go fuck yourself, 15% no, and then 50% yes.
Yeah.
Usually the troll one outperforms.
Almost always.
Yeah.
I mean, I put it there almost
Yeah.
fully.
I voted
expecting.
go fuck yourself.
As did I, Brian. As did I. I wasn't trying to put more hands out here. But then once I got like the positive affirmation of reaffirmation that they wanted it, I was like, okay, I'll start looking for hands. Nothing strikes me as that interesting. It's like I double barreled and got it through, or I called down with second pair good kicker and it was good. It's like I mean, these are like interesting if you're subscribing to a training site and you want like deep feedback, but like that's not what they want. They want the story.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, they want the ridiculous hand. Like I played a couple hands where I called jacks down on king high boards, where it's like those hands are just like, okay, you know, you're gonna play 200K pot with jacks on a fucking king high board and a 4-bet pot. Like let's hear it, kind of thing. So then these two hands happen. Obviously, like they didn't go my way, but that wasn't why I was posting them. I actually think they're quite interesting, and the feedback to me is it's both funny and discouraging at the same time. It's funny because it's like, I forget how like foreign people are to how like good poker actually works. I have
Yeah.
no
Saying
monitor.
this morning.
It was range
Because
highs.
I think we're about to get a dump.
Everyone was saying it.
I guess we're back.
We
I
are?
don't see you.
Yeah, we don't see anything, Guap. Why'd you just fire it up without telling us anything? God damn it.
What were we on that whole time?
I mean, we're on now. All right. Sorry about that. Let's get back to it. So this will just be a quick in the muck, I guess, and cover the hands that we went over, or that I guess I lost. So yeah, like the way the session was going, not really a ton of action. A couple hands happen where we found ourselves very deep. First hand we were, I think, 250 big blinds effective. Yeah, 50K at 1-2. Yeah, so 250 big blinds effective. I actually think this one's pretty standard. I know that the people in the streets, the chat pros, they're not big fans of it because, you know, we lost. But
You're not allowed to do that.
you know, it's weird. It was I was saying that like it was discouraging to post because I don't mind posting my L's like at all. And I also don't mind like, you know, criticism or any sort of feedback, but it's just like how far off people are from like anything rational that like grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Where it's like I find myself in a spot with like a really good bluff catcher. I call, he's not bluffing, and I lose. And they're like, he has like top pair here a lot. Aren't you afraid of that? It's like, yeah, I lose some of the time. Like, yes, I don't want to lose, but I'm going to lose.
What if you posted them like without the result?
I could do that. I
wonder
guess.
what if the comments would be like.
Well,
They would be, right? Because
it would be the same. It would be the same but different. So if I posted it without my hand, people would just start speculating on what they would call with. Right. So this hand that I'm speaking about, it was a 3-bet pot, small blind versus button, and the board came King 7-4 rainbow. We're playing 100, 200, 200 ante with the 7 deuce game on. He c-bet like smallish, like 35% on the flop.
wait, what happened pre?
3-bet.
What position? Sorry.
Button small blind.
Okay, thank you.
So button small blind 3-bet pot. King 7-4 rainbow. He c-bets 35%. I call. Turn is the 4 of spades, bringing 7-4 of spades. So backdoor flush draw. He bets like 80% pot. I call. River offsuit 9. He jams like pot and a quarter. So like that would basically the way I just told it would be how I would tell it without giving you my hand or results.
Yeah.
And now it just becomes a question of like, okay, well, what are you bluff catching? And I think a lot of people are just like a king. Like you just always call a king. Like calling a king here is so good, and it's just like a hand you don't want to fold. But like there are a lot of your king X's that are just going to want to mix here, right? Like having king 6 is not great. You don't want to block 6-5. That's one of his most obvious bluffs. King 7-4. He's going to have a lot of 6-5. He's going to have a lot of, some, or not a lot of, but like some hands like 9-10 with a backdoor. He's going to have a lot of broadways. So, the jack 10s, queen jacks, hands that wrap around the queen, hands that wrap around the king.
I was thinking queen 10.
Yeah, queen 10 would be a nice one. All of his backdoor spades generally. So, you want to free those up. So your kings aren't just uniformly going to pure call. It's not like you're going to look at your hand classes and say like, okay, well, full houses obviously are going to pure call, trips are going to pure call, and then top pair is going to pure call. It's like, well, no, that's not the way it works, because like king 10 doesn't beat any value. You know, it's just a bluff catcher the same as like a 7 would be. And inherently, like what it just comes down to is you want to block aces and ace king, because like that's his most obvious value. So I called with ace 9 of spades, which is like one of the few ace X hands that I get here with. I'll have ace 9 of spades and then the other combos of ace 7 suited. So like ace 7 of hearts, ace 7 of diamonds, ace 7 of clubs. And, you know, they just pure call in theory. Like there's just no getting around it. And it sucks to have to call an overbet with like second and third pair. But like you're never going to get shown jacks here. No. Right? And I think that people just think through the hierarchy where they're like, well, why would you call a 9? Wouldn't you rather just have jacks?
Right.
And it's like, no, jacks is not a better hand. Like jacks is a significantly worse hand.
You block bluffs.
Yeah. Yeah, you block bluffs, but also like they perform the same.
Right.
There isn't like some sort of weird value between jacks or queens and a 9.
Yeah.
It's not like he's mergy with 10s here for pot and a half.
That'd be wild.
Right? Like he was like a little bit too wide. He ended up having king queen of spades. And it's not even too wide from the king queen aspect. Like king queen goes for it some of the time, but the spade variety doesn't really want to go big like that, because you know you just want me to have hands that can't fold like king 10 of spades, or it's just like you get here. So that hand I was like really confident was good. The last hand I played, I was a little bit less sure, and I think the meta like has a lot to do with my uncertainty, I guess. So I guess the backstory here is, you know, I play with Oaken every single day. We talk about it a lot on the pod. He's one of my favorite people to battle against. He's not afraid to get in the mix and just like have some hands maybe you shouldn't have, or call a little wider or a little tighter. It's always a fun like exercise in trying to figure out like how he's going to respond today to my style of play. So this hand happens like 5 hands later. I don't even think it's been a full orbit. So first one was on my button. Now I'm under the gun. And I opened ace king of hearts, and I've just reloaded to like 150k. Oaken has 105k. And I guess Andrea now has about 100k because I just doubled him up. So I open ace king of hearts, 500 under the gun. This is the end of the muck hand.
Yeah. Do we have the confidence monitor?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to play the replay, there we go. So I open under the gun 500. Andrea calls under the gun 1, and then Oaken squeezes quite large to, which is probably fine at this depth for sure, 2,500. So this is like 12.5 blinds. I go for the big 4-bet size, which I think is proper. Because
is this because there's someone else involved, or just like because the position?
I think it's the depth. Okay. It's the depth. It's the depth and how tight this formation is. My 4-bet range basically just wants to be aces or not aces.
Yeah, like because it's so polar, you just go bigger.
Yeah. So you know, in a normal type of setting where it's like I'm opening hijack, Oaken's 3-betting button, and we're 500 big blinds effective, I might have different sizes and be a little bit more linear in my 4-bit range and not just play like the aces, not aces game versus him.
You can have like king jack.
Right. But in a 3-way formation like this, under the gun 1, under the gun 2, where we're super deep and there is a third person involved, I probably just like want to go really big with a really polarizing range and just play flats otherwise, because in a lot of ways, you're kind of protected by going 3 ways here. It just puts the middle of his range in kind of hell trying to navigate, because the SPR naturally lowers if Andrea calls behind, and then he has 2 ranges to have to fight and deal with. So you kind of do get to inherently over-realize despite being the furthest out of position. I go large size, he calls, and, you know, put whatever stock into it you want, but, like, I have what I believe to be a pretty dead nut read on Oaken preflop, like just when he's at top of range and when he's not. And he kind of like does this thing that I I think is pretty accurate, and I didn't think he was the top of range. Like I was pretty confident he's like way too linear here, way too middle centric, and is just going to have like a lot of suited hands, a lot of mid. Like he loves to squeeze pocket pairs, doesn't care. Like fives, whatever, yeet it, you know. So I'm operating of that assumption. And then secondarily, there's also the meta of I literally just doubled somebody up in a 100K pot.
Yeah.
So some people don't care about that stuff. Like I personally don't read too much into it unless it's somebody that I think actually falls off the deep end after losing a big pot like that. But I do have the feeling that the perception of me is that I'm one of those people, and I'm very sure that Oaken reads deeply into that. So for that reason, I did kind of strongly consider not rifling it off post, but I just think like the board falls too favorably for me. So we see a flop of 9-3-3, 2 clubs and a heart. So I flop 2 overs and a backdoor. Inherently, I think this is a big bet spot.
You're like 6.
Oh wow, I was gonna say range.
You do get the range bet.
Yeah, but
I
big.
think it's for like 2/3.
And like 4 bet out of position. Like
You're just really short, so I think you just 3E.
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember,
Or not really short, you're really tight.
Your range is very, very tight right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. So you
Like-
can range bet big.
Right. Like I'm very confident that
Yeah.
that like queens is indifferent facing any bet size on this
Right.
flop.
So like when you have a range bet and it's small, that's because your range is super wide.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always thought of range as like the small size.
Only when your range is really wide. When your range is really tight, then you can go big
Correct.
because you don't have very many hands.
It's most people don't study 4 and 5 bet pots, so they don't really see these situations where like SPR is 4,
Right.
and they have a range that's comprised of like 82 hands. You know, but yeah, like generally this is where we'll geo size.
Yeah.
Because you have a range that's so concentrated to nutted hands that you basically just want to try to efficiently get the money in over 3 streets or 2 streets.
Right. You don't have
Like
you don't have the Jack 10 here. So
Correct.
it's like-
You have all the aces, kings, queens. Like
Yeah, maybe not queen so
maybe not.
much.
Queens probably calls, but
Yeah, queen's a little bit.
there's so much of your range wants to go big.
Yeah.
Get money in.
Yeah. So I'll have queens a little bit, and I'll have like ace king suited, ace queen suited type of stuff. And then
Maybe like
honestly, I don't even know how much ace king off I would have based off
maybe
of.
like ace 5 for bluff.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, in theory, yes. In practice, I'm not so sure. Just because, I have 2 sims. I have the theory sim, and then I have the practical sim.
So if he's really concentrated to having pairs here, this is a great board for you, right?
Yes. I mean, you know, any non-queen high, jack high, 10 high board is going to be very, very, very good for me. So I end up going for a small size. I don't really want to explain why. I just know that betting here is good. Like you just get the range bet.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to go too into detail why I chose small, but there is a exploitative reason for it. He calls. Turn is now another 3.
That'll be a good card
And
for
this
your range.
size, this size is, I'm pretty confident, going to be theoretically correct. I went B40. And this is just going to be like really common when the board gets like super static like this, and you have such a high concentration to nuts. Like aces is just so incentivized to not let him off the hook
Yeah.
when he has like all of these pocket pairs.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't go super big.
Right. Like ace king of clubs for him can't really fold versus B40 all the time.
Right.
But against like 2E, it just has to start folding. Like, you know, jacks has to start folding at some frequency. Maybe he doesn't. That's a different story. But nevertheless, like you kind of want to set yourself up like this. So I go B40. He calls again. And then the river's an offsuit 10. And I just think I have like a very clear jam.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
It was, I think maybe we got the flop size incorrect in this. Maybe not. Maybe he was a little bit more shallow. But anyway, I think the jam was for like 68.5 or something like that. So I follow through, and he just beats me in with pocket 10s, which is so
so
fucking
gross.
annoying.
So dumb.
It's just like I very rarely react to pots, but I was so miffed here because I know that this hand just has to fold.
It has to.
Right, like he would just have to like reach deep into his gut
God.
to call this off on like
Yeah.
a deuce.
Right.
Yeah. So if the 4 spades hits the river, like, and you jam,
Right.
he's just mucking tens.
I mean,
he
you
has
just
to. He has to.
well, like
He doesn't have to,
Well,
but
I don't know about has to, but yeah, it's gonna
it's
be
just
tough.
like, my God, like you just only beat bluffs, and it's like, man,
Well, so-
it would take a lot of gumption.
yeah. I'm curious if you guys like know what the theory of spots like this actually looks like from his standpoint, from a defense standpoint. So if you assume like, so the theory range, if you wanna look at the solve,
Sure.
I can show you what his range is really quickly.
Honestly, feels like it's indifferent on the river.
So if you want to see like what his range construction is here, and this is don't mind the action, just look at his overall range, because I'm looking at through a check line, which I never check. But basically, like in theory, he's trapping aces a lot. He's trapping kings a lot. He has queens in full, jacks, tens, sliver of nines, a little bit of 8s, 7s, 6s, and then the fantastic 4, as well as for whatever reason, like a tiny little bit of pocket 3s. Facing any flop bet, how do you think a range like this starts to take action? Like, what candidates do you think are pure versus mixed?
I mean, I think like probably tens plus. I mean, obviously like nines is a boat.
You're saying what continues? Pure?
What continues pure versus bet?
Against your small bet? A lot. I mean, all pocket
All his
pairs.
overpairs, right?
Like, I think all your.
The strategy won't change based off of my size.
So if you go pot and you go
Fine,
quarter,
why not?
Because of how tight
doesn't-
the ranges are.
It doesn't change.
I mean, it changes, but like all that alters is the actual frequencies. The mixes don't really change,
Gotcha.
right? So what's pure is pure. What's a mix is a mix. Versus like this is why a lot of people in 4-bet pots will just by default be 20, because you apply a lot of the same pressure as you would going 75%. It's all about SPR manipulation at this point. The sizing is just a byproduct of like wanting to manipulate SPR.
I mean, obviously, all his flush draws. I think almost all pocket pairs. Maybe. I mean,
I was thinking all pairs too.
yeah.
Okay, so this is great. This is really good insight, and this is why I asked, because I think that this is how live people approach the spot.
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah,
you have
maybe like the smaller pairs start folding off. Like
Yeah,
the 4s,
I was gonna
5s,
say
6s
8s
start
plus.
folding.
okay. All of his pairs
Yeah,
are.
but he'd have to 3-bet 4s, 5s, and 6s
But
pre.
he does.
Why do you think 5s, or why do you think 6s, 7s, and 8s are more
It's
indifferent than queens and jacks?
Right. It's kind of like the same thing, in a way. I mean, because you don't have 10s and you have.
This is what my theory range would look like.
Right. See, yeah, you don't have 10s. You don't have like. You have not. You don't have 10s, but you have 9s.
I mean, I would never have 9s, but in theory, you just have like it's all just for board coverage.
Right.
Like these frequencies are like 2%.
Right. Yeah. So it's just you don't have
Just cancel those out. I mean,
Yeah, get rid
right.
of
So
them.
it's kind of like having 8s and having 4s is like the same hand.
Having 8s and having queens is the same hand.
Right. Yeah.
This is like what most people get wrong.
Right.
And I said I didn't want to go too deep into it, but this is why I choose the smaller size instead of the large size, is because hands that are indifferent early on, like on early streets, never play indifferent. They play pure. So
You're supposed to fold 10s on this flop sometimes?
you're supposed to fold queens half the time.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
So the way that it works is like you basically just fold less and less as the hand progresses, right? So you mix early, then you mix again on the turn, and then you mix again on the river. So like if we look at how it performs versus this big size, assuming I just 2E here, you can see queens folds 80% of the time.
Wow.
Jacks folds like 20% of the time. 10s is actually a pure call because and the reason why queens fold so often, jacks folds less, 10s folds even. Do you understand why this is happening?
Yeah, because you're so nutted.
No.
Do you have ace queen?
I have a sliver of ace queen, yeah. So I have it like small frequency. Why is queens folding at the highest frequency while jacks and 10s are like 10s is a pure call, jacks is calling 90% of the time.
Because you block like your ace queen.
No.
Or-
It's because he has queens in full. He has 6 combos of queens.
Uh-huh.
He has like 1.5 combos of jacks.
Okay.
He has like a half a combo of 10s.
Okay, so they have to like
For board coverage
board
sake.
coverage,
The only reason
Right.
any pairs
Just
are
because he
calling.
just has way less of them.
The only reason any pairs are calling are to bluff catch future streets and to
Right.
have board coverage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like what will end up happening now is you'll arrive on the turn with just about the same number of combinations of 10s, jacks, and queens.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have equal distribution of all of these overpairs, including like 8s and 7s and 6s. So basically, the point is that outside of kings and aces, and even kings you can see mixes a little bit, but outside of kings and aces,
And just folding kings.
right.
Like, what the fuck?
I will not do that.
So outside of kings and aces, and then ace king suited, specifically clubs and hearts, there are no pure continues.
Yeah.
But the way live players approach this is that,
That's a tortoise chart up there. Out there folding kings.
I mean, it's a 4-bet pot and you're 500 big blinds effective. The way that live players approach this is every pair over the 9 is going to be a pure continue, and every pair under the 9 will range between a pure fold and a pure call,
Right.
depending on your play style. So a guy like Oaken who fights for pots is probably just never folding a pair.
Right.
Whereas, somebody who's like a little bit tighter might fold all pairs up to 8s, or maybe even like all pairs up to 10s. But
I would
like
have just called all the pairs. I'm like, well, I could turn a boat.
Yeah, I think I call one and then see what happens on the turn.
you're just calling, you're just like calling way too much. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right,
for
so
sure.
so look at what happens whenever. Oh wait, I got to get rid of the big size. Watch what happens whenever you face the
3E?
size that I chose. No, this is less than 3E. So I went for the small size. Do you think he's gonna call? Like, do you think he'll still remain indifferent throughout those pocket pairs?
You would think he'd call more.
I mean, you already said that it doesn't change. So.
I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay, so it does go pure. If I have a tighter range, so this is me, kind of painting what I think my actual range looks like in this spot. Now when I go B30, it basically reflects what the big size was. All these hands are just like near pure folds.
All folding.
Right.
Yeah. When you for the small size. Or
For the small size.
Yeah.
So this is facing B30 whenever my range is like a little
And
bit
the
tighter.
real life range is gonna be tight too. Like
It's going to be
so,
way tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of being 500 blinds effective and having just got stacked.
And being under the gun and
The formation and
Yeah.
everything else, right?
Yeah.
So, so like the small size here is just going to like force indifference immediately for all these pocket pairs, but like he's just never going to fold them. So what ends up happening is I ran this last night.
Oaken?
It's a live thing. Oh no. They did it to me again.
Oh my god, they locked us out.
This keeps happening.
I
This happened
know.
yesterday too.
We're getting rugged.
Burke, if you hit hashtag wizard, you can get a subscription.
I can re-up my subscription. All right, I'll just talk you guys through the rest of this then without locking this. But basically what ends up happening is if I were to lock him to call all of his pocket pairs, all of his front door flush draws, all of his back door flush draws, what then ends up happening is on the turn 3, like the turn 3 brick or whatever, now you see this harsh mix occur again. So now when I bet 40%, which you can see is the preferred size.
Yep.
What will end up happening is, so if he mixes flop, he now is able to just like pure continue turn.
Yeah.
But since he's probably not mixing flop, what ends up happening is now his flop strategy back ends to his turn strategy. So even though he
Queens-
turned a full
so
house.
Jack's full queens or Jack's full.
No.
Jack's call
This
queens.
is unlocked. If it were locked, what you would see is like all of these pairs calling at like 20%
Gotcha.
frequency.
Yeah.
Right? Because he would have them in full instead of only having like partials.
Right.
Matt,
So
I have a question.
yeah.
The 40% bet on the turn,
Yep.
is that end up being 2E?
No.
Why doesn't it like a size that's a little bit bigger so that you get stacks in? Because I'm assuming with the 3 on the turn,
You'll
like,
see-
you
you'll
just
see
wanna
more.
You
get-
don't want him to. You don't want him like you want him give tougher decisions to his slightly weaker hands.
It's too crippling. My range
Yeah.
is too tight. Like
Yeah, he can just
Yeah.
he can now
Get that.
once you do 2E, he can just like start folding all these pocket pairs.
So Jacks and
Don't
10s were a
fold.
pure call before, and Jacks is now a pure fold versus 2E.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just making his decision too easy.
Correct.
You're helping him throw away an overpair.
Correct.
Okay.
And I imagine the biggest reason why he's calling 10s and like not Jacks or Queens is because these should be blocking some bluffs in some sort of capacity. So if you get to choose, you basically pick the pair that unblocks the most and also the one that you have the lowest frequency. and you just get the pure call. But versus the 40 size, change that to percent. So yeah, against B40, if he had mixed on the flop, like queens now becomes a pure fold, which is obviously never happening in practice. Again, like people just think in terms of hierarchy.
Yeah.
So like queens are always gonna fucking call for sure. Jacks and tens are supposed to be pure calls. The other reason why I think these call is because they're easier to fold on the end. And then like his ace highs are gonna continue because they unblock my bluffs and can also improve the quads, which is kind of nice. I'm surprised that ace king of hearts pure continues and ace king of clubs doesn't, because I don't think I'm bluffing. I guess I'm range betting again. That makes sense. Okay, so once he then continues to recall in the river, let's say it's a brick instead, because I think that's the more interesting thing to examine. Let's say it's just an offsuit 4. Now you can see that basically he's so tight.
You want to do a lot of all in.
Not really. Like he's so tight, kings don't even go for it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Right? And this is kind of a byproduct of him still having a small amount of aces to trap.
Yeah.
Right? If I were to assume that my read is dead on spot right, and that he never has aces or kings, I'll only play jam on the end, of course. And then ace king will just like happily yeet it off.
Yeah.
There's really no question there. And whenever you see, so whenever we do jam, you'll see that like he's just kind of fucked, right? The only thing that he naturally just gets to call with is aces, nines.
Yeah.
And then you see ace 4 is actually like a pure call off. Because it's exactly ace 4 of clubs, so it doesn't block any bluffs.
Right.
Which is nice. I'm never gonna bluff the ace of clubs.
And now it just beats all your ace king bluffs.
Right, it beats all my ace king bluffs. It unblocks those ace king bluffs, and then it blocks aces, which is my number one value jam. So it's very non-intuitive the way to like bluff catch these types of situations. But you can see that the hands that like naturally call, like kings, jacks, and tens, these hands either pure call or pure fold, depending on like your personality. And maybe like at the end of the day, it just works out to being close to the right frequencies, because in the moment you just make a decision, and this time you end up folding it, but like next time in the exact same spot you end up calling it, and when it all washes out, like
I think a lot of it's like player dependent too in the moment.
Right. But it shows like how tricky theory can get whenever ranges are continually condensed, because what ends up happening is like I'm probably one of the few that's bluffing at the appropriate frequency there, and because I'm bluffing at the appropriate frequency, a lot of people misinterpret that as over bluffing.
Yeah,
right.
I would say that.
Right, simply because I have bluffs. In their mind, I'm over bluffing.
In fact, I think I have notes on players that I play with online that I'm like, oh, this guy just is torching. He over bluffs. He's probably just playing sound poker, and to me, it's just like, oh, this guy's an animal.
Does that 10 on the river change your bluffing frequency at all? Like, because
I don't think so.
It's really hard. It hits his range a little bit more than like a 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it just, in my opinion.
What about in your head?
I mean, I would rather see an 8. I'd rather see a 7, 6.
Right.
But like, if I had to choose between a 10, jack, or queen, I pick a 10.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
Right. Like in rank order, I just think that the pairs are going to continue in accordance to their strength.
Right, of course.
Right. So it's like I always expect him to have queens on the end.
Yeah.
In full frequency.
Right.
I don't expect him to have.
Like if it was a queen on the river, you shut it down?
I might shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just shut it down.
That's kind of what I was asking. Like where's the line where you might shut it down? So queens, and then jacks you may think about it, and then tens you're just going for it.
Yeah. I think that I think in a very general sense, everything below the 9, I'm always rifling it off.
Yeah.
And I think that the way I would balance this bluffing range is that I would have like both ace king and ace queen suited here, and only those two hands. Like I said, I'm probably 4-betting much tighter than I otherwise would, or than theory would dictate. just simply due to the fact that I just got stacked and the aspect that we're so deep. And, you know, once I choose this large size, an SPR 5 is not that much.
Yeah.
So it becomes pretty critical to like understand how to range navigate here. And also, like, if somebody is just too pair dense or too linear in nature, you just absolutely crush them by being too tight, right? So I've built a lot of like free money points, so to speak, by just like playing the image that I play. And like, if Oaken's even watching this, he's no way that's your 4-bet range. You 4-bet me with ace-4 suited yesterday. And like, he's right. I did.
Yeah, he did.
But like,
different
every spot is unique, you know? And I just know that I probably just wouldn't have the ace-4 suited there. But like, he can't know that. So he can only operate off of his perception of what he knows, which means he's probably going to over-defend all of these pocket pairs. And that's generally a good thing, except when you're buried and you're rifling it off with ace-king.
Yeah.
That's kind of the brutal.
What if it was a 9 river? Like 9-3-3-3-9?
Right. So I think I still jam because
Right,
nothing changes.
Want to with, like, aces and-
Doesn't really
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, like nothing changes.
He doesn't have 9s in it.
It just becomes a funny leveling conversation in his head where he goes back and forth between the thought process of well, you could easily jam better for value, but you should be afraid of me having trip 9s or 9s full, I guess. And now trying to like settle on how do I bluff catch 10s.
How many 9s does he have in his range? Not many.
He shouldn't really have any, but I mean, he just 3-bet calls, so like having 10-9 suited is reasonable.
8-9. Yeah, 8-9's like.
I don't think maybe he has 8-9.
Yeah, I don't know. 8-9 shouldn't be in
More Fantastic 4-y than the 8-9s, I think. I would expect.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 7-8s, the 6, the 5.
Yeah.
5-6s.
8-9 tends to be, but
Right.
again, like, you know, he could just have
10-9's better than the 8-9. The 8-9 is just
Yeah,
you're just
'cause of-
asking for it
'cause
with
of
the 8-9. When the ace king, yeah,
Right.
you're just like, yeah.
Right. So yeah, it was a very interesting spot. It's funny because obviously I was like considering quitting like an hour prior, where I'm like weighing, is it worth staying kind of thing, and I'm looking around the table and it's like there's some potential here. There's for sure some potential here. But then after I get stacked twice and I'm stuck like 235K, I look around, I'm like, whoa, there's no way I can get in.
Yeah,
It's like I literally have 90 more minutes before the game breaks, and I have to
Especially if it's
determine.
like a not violent game. Like,
Right.
You're just like, okay, well.
I was like, okay,
Perception
I'm not going to
changes
make
very quickly.
another trip to my box.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. We're going to call it a night here.
Yeah.
Get an extra hour of sleep. But man, it's early in the summer,
It's
and
a long summer.
I'm very excited. I'm glad to get it out of the way now, to be quite honest. Like, I think the big conversation that comes to mind that I don't want to get too deeply into, but I'll spend like maybe the last 2 minutes of the show talking about before we get out of here is just, to me, like those hands embody poker. That's like just the way that I view the game, strictly. I want to be in a game where it's a lot of chaos. I want people to be battling back and forth. I want there to be a lot of uncertainty with what hands are supposed to be betting versus calling versus raising and doing all these things. And I want to feel more comfortable than everybody else at navigating that chaos, right? That's just my general approach. It's worked really well for me. And it's the way that I view like cash in general, why I prefer it over tournaments. What I gather from reading like the public response to these types of hands is that is not very common.
I don't think it is. No.
Yeah.
Most people just want to grind out their hourly and kind of like.
Well, what's crazy to me is like it's very apparent to me how I'm winning if I'm winning, right? I mean, I could always be overestimating my spot. I could be overestimating my ability, but if I'm right, it's very clear to me, like the nodes that I'm making money and like where the errors are taking place against me, yada yada yada, right? When people come back and they say, "Why would you call a 9?" when you just lose to a king? Why would you bluff it all off with ace king high? Like what I like to do with ace king is put in a lot of money pre-flop, and then if I miss, just start checking. right? Like when people
Somebody literally said that at the table.
Somebody literally said it in my comments.
But like literally they were like, ace king. It's like yeah, it's okay like pre-flop, but like yeah, I see these people they just go nuts with it after the flop, and I'm like,
well, otherwise the other option is to just check fold.
Hope you hit and then bet and have them fold. And
if people saw like how thin I got for value with like ace king high in 3 and 4 bet pots, like I'll bet 2 streets, flop and river, flop and turn, whatever, on board textures where it's just like my opponent can never fold ace queen high, right? It's just like, even if it's just like small bets or whatever the case, it's like there is a portion of their range that's worse and has to continue that ace king beats unpaired.
Yeah.
And like that shouldn't be lost on, like, it comes
it's
like
not just a cash thing too, like
right.
a lot of spots where your ace king is just like worth a lot.
Yeah. Like people think that it's like, oh, I missed, I have to just like give up, because
as if they always have a pair.
Right, they just range their opponents as having like jacks plus always.
Right.
And it's like, what game did you sign up to play? Because I don't want to ever be, and
that's the jewel.
Right.
You guys be easy on the jewel.
And I get it. I get it that those environments exist, and I get that like that's why people give such like strong pushback to like the just pay mechanism. But it's also a choice. You're choosing not to disrupt that environment. Yeah. Like you're choosing to play along.
It is a lot more like moldable than people think.
Way more.
If you throw one like guy like you in the mix, people start loosening up, like
because they don't know what to do, right? Like they defend a 3-bet with ace 5 and it comes 9-4 deuce, and I bet. Like, what are they going to do with a gut shot? They can't fold it when I just got 2 streets of value with ace king high. You know what I mean? As long as I don't find a way to give up on my hand later, and maybe you make an ace here, and now you get a 3rd street. Yeah. From a hand that like they're gonna curse themselves. I should have just folded pre. I should have folded. It's like, no, this is just good poker. Yeah. Like everybody is so averse to just like having the second best hand and putting any fucking money in the pot.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, guys,
gotta make sure
there's a pot out there, and we're all fighting for it. You make a bluff catcher, and somebody bets, and like they have something wider than the nuts. Maybe pay once in a while. It's okay. It's fine. Lose a 500 big blind pot. Lose a 1K big blind pot.
Lose $250,000 in it.
It's fine.
It's all right.
Everything is fine.
It's just money. It's just your mortgage payment.
No, of course it sounds like cope. I get that it does sound like cope, and I'm not really trying to cope. I actually am like it's one. It's like being a fighter and getting punched in the face, and it like kind of wakes you up. It's like, oh man, this is such a fucking great game. And it's just like there's so many angles to it that allow you to profit if you actually take the time and put in some work off the felt. And like nothing is more beautiful than seeing like 9 people sit around a table where 7 of them maybe think in a similar way and 2 think like totally opposite of that, and a fist fight ensues.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like let's see what happens at the end. That's going to do it for us today and for this week. First real full week of the WSOP. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back again on Monday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. Conrad will be maybe here, maybe at the Horseshoe.
Great segment, by the way.
We're going to work on it.
I thought it was hilarious.
Come clean up your fucking space, man.
Look at that shit.
Jesus Christ. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday. Don't forget, we do have a new season of Poker Out Loud coming out. Season 11 will be coming to you sometime in the next 2 weeks. We'll have a trailer for you on Monday. Look forward to that. We'll see you guys then.
Peace.